Hello, welcome to Clee. Today, we will learn how to create an enemy spawner. This module is commonly used in games that require players repeatedly going to the same area to battle, like monster camps for RPGs or MOBAs. Let's watch a quick demonstration to get into this lesson. In this demo, we placed areas on the map and made them spawn skeletons, demons, and so on when the game starts. If all the enemies of one area are cleared, they will respawn after 10 seconds. So, the player can repeatedly farm these enemy spawners for rewards or fun. Now, it's time for the functional requirement. In short, enemy spawner is a circle area. When game starts, it creates enemies. When those enemies are all cleared by the player, they will respawn after a certain time. To achieve this effect, the spawner has to answer 3 questions: what to spawn, how to spawn, and when to spawn. Let's solve these problems step by step. To know what to spawn, we need to create spawners that can store some data, like enemy type or amount. Then, we should create a function that makes the spawner create units with the stored data. Finally, we will call the function when the right time, game start or all its enemies die. Well, our requirement analysis part is now completed. In the next chapters, you will know how Clee fulfills our needs. Okay, our first mission is spawner initialization. It means we will create spawners and store some data in it. Since the spawners are based on areas, please choose a scene. Use the Place Objects and Region feature. Drag 4 circles on the map. These 4 areas should know the data of spawned enemies, including the angle, amount, and type. Now, we will introduce a powerful feature called Custom Key Value to connect the areas and the data. Custom Key Value is a special kind of global variable, which is combined of a primary index and a key. This may sound too abstract, but a good example can help you understand. Imagine you are a bookstore owner and hire one person among a lot of candidates. Then you declare that bookstore employee is Tom. This is a perfect custom key value. Now your bookstore is a primary index, distinguished itself from other workplaces. The employee is the key which limits the data type. You cannot fill in a location or a time to answer who is the employee. Finally, Tom is the value, the answer of who is your bookstore's employee. With this knowledge, you can set any type custom key value as long as you have a primary index and a key. Now, let's see how to practice this in our case. In our case, we shouldn't create 12 global variables to store each spawner's enemy information. A better way is to set custom key value for each spawner. Later, when we need to know what is the spawner 1's enemy angle, we only need to click a bracket that should fill in an angle. Then use function get angle custom key value. Choose enemy angle for spawner 1. In summary of this stage, we need to create a new trigger. Then, set a circle variable array, spawner, to store all the circles we put. Finally, we should set custom key value, including enemy's angle, amount, and type for each spawner. This is all the work of initialization. Although we can skip the first and second step, directly set custom key values for the areas we put on the map. It's a good habit to use array to organize the variables with same purpose. For example, we can order all spawners and do the same thing with a loop. No need to copy every area and write the similar actions repeatedly. With the spawners ready, it's time to learn how to activate them. In the last step, we created the spawner variable stored custom key values. Our goal now is to make all these spawners can create units with stored data. It's very inefficient to create triggers for each spawners, but we don't want to write repeatedly the similar triggers 4 times. Therefore, we should create a function to manage the spawn process. This function only needs a circle parameter, so that anytime we send a spawner to the function, the spawner will load its own stored data and created units. So, let's go to the function library. We can create a function with a circle parameter called spawner. We will load its custom key values to complete the spawn process. Firstly, we should create a loop from 1 to the total amount of enemies of the spawner. Let the spawn action repeat until all enemies are created. In the loop, we should create a neutral hostile unit with the stored unit type and orientation at a random place in the spawner. Though now the unit is created, our work is not yet finished. Remember that we hope a spawner can respawn after being cleared, right? To make this mechanic possible, the spawner and the spawn enemies must have connection. Maybe you can guess what useful tool we will use again. Yes, the custom key value. You are very clever. We should let this unit know which spawner is the home and let the spawner know which unit is its creation. Just like let a mother and child remember each other. So, we need to create 2 new custom key values. A circle one for the unit, set as the spawner, and a group one for the spawner. Add this unit. Perfect. Finally, the function is completed. It's time to decide when to call it. As designed, the enemy spawner has 2 conditions to be activated. The one is game start, another is all its enemies are dead. Therefore, we can create 2 new triggers. The events are initialization and unit dies. The left one is quite easy. We just need to send every spawner to the function. You can use a loop to save time. As for the right one, since we store the data as the custom key value for each spawner and spawn unit, it's time to remove the dead unit from its spawner's unit group and check if its count of units is now 0, which means no enemy left for this spawner. Then, we can create a 10-second timer and send the dead unit spawner to the function. With these 2 triggers, we finished the whole project of enemy spawner. Congratulations! Now, it's time to review what we learned today. At the beginning, we placed 4 circle areas on the map. Then, we put the areas into the array spawners and set several custom key values for each of them. After that, we create a function that can spawn enemies with a circle parameter. Finally, we declare 2 events to make sure when the game starts, activate all spawners, and when a spawner is cleared, it will respawn. Hope this lesson can help you understand the usage of custom key value and a common 3-stage structure of map mechanics. Besides enemies, you can also create medicine spawner, mineral spawner, and so on in your future games. Give the map more fun and repeatability. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.